Hi there everyone, it's Cassie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel for another video. Today's a special one. It's the Trinity Stamps April release hop. So I'll have all the information linked down below. You'll want to head to my description box for that. But let's talk about what we're using first. This brand new 8-bit birthday stamp set. It has all the little words to make all the little sentiments. And we also have matching dies to go along with it. Now what I did is I put those on my magnetic sheet in the same order that they are on my stamp. So that way that it's easy to find the matching dies, but that's a great stamp set. We also have this amazing arcade machine builder. I am so in love with this. I've made a couple cards with it already, but this is so good. And we're going to make one. And then I'm bringing in an oldie but a goodie. This is the Superstar Stencil. And we're going to use, because it's two stencils, we're going to use a couple different colors. So we'll start with some cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. I'm going to trim that down a little bit later, but I'm tacking this down onto my glass mat using my magnets, and then we're going to bring in one of my blending buddies along with some ink. We're going to use the Guppy ink. It's a little bit lighter orange. So we're going to use that on these sets of stars. This is the first stencil, and this is a well-loved stencil. I will tell you that. I've used this so many times, but it's a great one. And it does get mostly covered up. But some of it still shows, and it gives the illusion, you know, that there's obviously more going on behind what we put on top of it. So I'll pull that away. We're going to clean up our mess, and then we'll bring in the next stencil. And you can match that up with the embossing that's on this stencil. And so this one, I'm just going to tack it with a little bit of mint tape. We'll also put a piece behind it, and then we'll put that down onto our glass mat, and we'll put our magnets just on the stencil, not on our piece, because I want to use a paste. We're going to use an Astro paste. This is the slippery when wet. It's a pretty gold when everything is nice and dry, but I'm going to pick up my palette knife and we'll spread that all over the stars, and there's going to be 3 layers of these stars. And then I'm going to try and scrape most of that off that's not being used, and we'll put that back into our jar. And then we don't want to waste too much time cleaning off our stencil because this is a glitter paste, so it will dry like cement on there if you don't get that cleaned up pretty quickly. I'm also going to get it off of my glass mat. We'll put a little water down on there, and then we'll head off and clean this. And so then once everything is nice and clean, we can move on to the next thing, which would be talking about that arcade machine builder. We're going to let our background dry, but I went ahead to save time, die cut everything out that I was going to need, just using various colors like that teal blue. We also cut out the smaller pieces just out of white because I do want to color those with some alcohol markers. But before we get into that, I'm going to stamp my sentiments onto my screen. So this is the screen that would be for the arcade machine. And this is where we're going to bring in that 8-bit birthday stamp set. And you could, like I said, use the matching dies with it, but I'm going to go ahead and emboss this right on there. And I've picked out a few sentiments, pardon my head. We're lining that up on my glass mat. We'll pick that up with our stamp block, and then we'll bring in our white, detail white embossing powder, and also a powder, anti-static powder tool. My goodness, words are hard. And then we're going to ink up the stamp using some juicy embossing ink from Ink on 3. Stamp that down as centered as possible. Cover that with that detail white embossing powder. And then we're going to hit that with our heat tool until that is smooth and melted. Try not to burn my fingers. And then we can clean up our mess. This is going to be good to go, ready for the next thing. I love it. You've reached retro level. I'm going to use the packaging. Now, your packaging is going to look a little different than mine because, you know, mine is from previous, and I printed these pictures out, but your packaging will have everything you need. And I'm just following the packaging, maybe not using the exact same colors, but it's helping me to decide which colors I do want to use. And I did die cut out the joystick and button twice, and also the little coin return. I cut that out twice as well because we want 2 of those at the bottom, and we also want 2 joysticks and 2 buttons. Obviously, the world is your oyster. You can cut out as many joysticks or buttons or whatever you want, because if you go on Google or Pinterest or any of those places and you look up arcade machines, you're going to get a variety of different looks, not only colors of machines, but some of them will have just a joystick, some of them will have a couple, some of them will have several buttons. And so you can make your arcade machine however you want. But if you're unsure on color, like I said, you can use your color cubes if you have those. I have those links down below. You can also, like I said, head on to Google and check out what some of them look like, and you can have a really good time making all kinds of colored arcade machines. But it's super fun. And I die cut that out of white. Everything is staying in place because I have some mint tape on the back of my white cardstock. That way everything is staying where it's supposed to. I do need to bring in that 8-bit stamp again because we're going to put 25 cents on one, and then we're going to put press here to start on the other one. So if this does not, if you're like my age or maybe even a little older, maybe even a little younger, if this doesn't bring back some memories of going to an arcade, oh my goodness, we had the best time as kids doing that. So much fun. All right, now I'm going to bring in my Clingy Craft Mate, and we're going to set that down because this is a little bit sticky. I want to blend onto my letters. I want to do a bit of an ombre blend, so I'm putting those down onto that Craft Mate, and we've got the word arcade. And then I'm going to bring in my blending buddy for the yellow, and I'm going to use Shooting Star for my yellow ink. And then we're just going to blend yellow across all of those. But then, as you notice, I do have a little shading Sidekick off to the side. We're going to bring in some of that Guppy ink, and then we can blend the Guppy ink from the top down. And I'll end up having to move my letters around a little bit. I didn't push them down super hard, which is why they kind of move around a little bit. That's my bad. But the little Clingy Craft Mate does a pretty good job of holding on to your pieces, especially if you're trying to color up small pieces. This is super helpful to have. Again, didn't push them down super hard, so they're floating around. But if you clean your Craft Mate better than I do, yours will stay sticky. I am not always the best at that. So now we're done with the word or the letters. We can move on to doing some assembly. So I've got each of those pieces, and we are just going to follow the packaging and put things together. So I've got this piece that goes at the bottom of our screen part. I don't know what to call that. But it's going to give it that 3D look, like you're looking into the screen, which is what it was like back in the day. And then we can put down our screen on top of that. All right, then we're going to move on to where the joystick and the buttons would be. We're going to put that piece together. That piece is going to be this one along with the white piece that I cut out. And I just need to flip this upside down. I've got it wrong, so we'll flip it. And then that gives it a bit more of a 3D look. That goes below the screen. And then we've got these pieces which have these little detailed images. I'm going to use my reverse tweezers for those, and then little dots of glue all over those, and then we can center those up. I love those extra little details. Really helps. But again, you can decorate these however you want. Patterned papers would be fun too. Or do some shading in there somehow. You could cut it all out of white and color everything with your alcohol markers, or paint them, or however you would like to do that. But now we're going to put the letters in there. I'm going to try and center that up, and we'll start with the center letters as well, which is why I'm doing the C. It's always easier for me to start from the center and work out. So this has an even number of letters, so we're going to do the C and the A in the middle as best as possible, and then we'll work our way to the outside. I just want to make sure that I have the same, or at least close to the same amount of room on both the left and right hand side once all those letters are down. I really love that ombre look with the yellow and the orange, especially on that blue color. It looks really good. Okay, and then now we get to put our little pieces together, and this is where not only reverse tweezers work really well, but also the pickup stick. So I'll use my reverse tweezers to start piecing together the push button for push to start and the 25 cents. And we'll put both of those together. Pretty simple. But I find that one of my most used tools in my craft space is my reverse tweezers. I use them all the time, whether it be for stamping or journaling even, putting stickers down in my journal, whatever. I just find that my reverse tweezers are a must. I don't know what I'd do without them. All right, we're going to do our best to center these up also. Trying to use my glass mat to help me with that. and sometimes I struggle. I don't know why, but I do. And I notice that's not quite that centered, but it's better than it could be if I eyeballed it for sure. So that's ready to go. And now we'll work on our joystick. We have 2 of them, and both of our buttons. Now the button is much smaller, so that's where my pickup stick comes in super, super handy. And it's the same thing for the bottom of the joystick. And I will assemble the bottom of the joystick, but I'm not going to place the bottom of the joystick onto the joystick quite yet. That's going to go down first when we start assembling those pieces onto the arcade. And then I can put the joystick on top of that. But there are 3 more pieces to these joystick. It's the little gray piece that goes on top of the black piece, and it's really tiny, as you can see. So reverse tweezers, pickup stick, all those things are wonderful to put things together. And then I'll do both of those, and we'll set those off to the side before we attach those down to the arcade. And then there are a couple of little pieces that give that highlight to the joystick, since it's a nice rounded piece. So I'm going to put that on there as well. And then we have our buttons. So we've got 2 buttons, and they each have 3 pieces. And so I'm going to put a little bit of glue down on each of the black pieces if I don't flick them all over. They're sticking to me. And then I'll put the yellow button on top of each of those, and then I have an even lighter yellow piece that'll go on top of that. That gives you the highlight for the actual button. So I do love how detailed these are. It gives you the illusion that they are super 3D, and I think that is so fun. It's not a flat look. Super helpful. You could stop there, but I really think adding that highlighted piece to the top of the button is super helpful. And it just takes it to the next level. So there's 2 of those, holding it down with my reverse tweezers, putting a little dollop of glue, and then using that pickup stick to attach down those top pieces. Once those are done, everything will be ready to be assembled together. Now, to make it a little easier on myself, I have a piece of cardstock, white cardstock, that measures 2.5 inches by 5.5 inches. That's going to end up being too long, but that's okay. You can trim that off. I just wanted to make sure that I could put all of my pieces down, and then you can attach this down to your panel. Now, the reason I wanted to do this is because, 1, I thought it would be easier, and it is, and 2, my panel has that glitter paste on it, which can be a little difficult to just glue things down onto. So doing this really helped to make the arcade easier to assemble. Now we can put our buttons down. And heck, as I'm looking at this, how cute would this be if you just made a smaller card base behind it? You could do, like, if you had a 5-inch piece by a 5-inch piece, like a square, and then you just fold it in half, you'd have this cute little card. Or make it into a tag. Oh my gosh, how cute would that be? An arcade tag. I'm giving myself ideas just looking at this. That makes me happy. Once again, trying to center things, and my eyes deceive me. We're going to put the little joystick base down first, and then we will use our reverse tweezers on the joysticks themselves and attach those down, carefully moving everything around because nothing's dry yet. But yes, this is a little bit of work to put together, but oh my goodness, the end result makes me so stinking happy. And if that doesn't bring me back to my childhood, I don't know. I just love it. Making cards for all the guy friends in my life, and well, heck, even some of the ladies for sure. All right, so I'm trimming this down to be slightly smaller than an A2 size card front. I mean, slightly smaller. And then I am going to, because everything's dry now, I'm going to go ahead and attach this down to a black card panel that measures 4.25 by 5.5 inches. So that is the full front of an A2 size card. So we'll attach this panel down. You'll get to see there's just a little bit of black peeking, and I like that. And then to attach down our arcade to the front, we're going to use some foam tape. So I'll use that all over the back. That'll be easier to attach this to the glitter paste, and it'll also give it a little bit more dimension, which I love. Then I'll peel off all that release paper, and then we can attach this down to the front of our card panel. I'm loving this. Loving it. All right, now that that's done, we have a card base that measures 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches and is scored at 4.25. So we're going to go ahead and attach our panel down to the front of our card base. And then I do want to do a little stamping on the inside. So we'll stamp the cake using some Guppy ink. And then we'll put our sentiments around that and stamp that around. But like I said, this is a part of a hop, so you're going to want to hop around. I've got all the information linked down below in my description box, along with the links for each of the products that I use, so you can head over and check those out if it's something you're interested in. But be sure to hop around and get all the inspiration. There are more things released than just this, and even though this is fantastic. So be sure to hop around, leave some comments, leave a little love, and I love it. So yeah, if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And as always, huge thanks for sticking around, watching my video, using my affiliate links. All those things do keep me producing videos, and I appreciate you. So thanks, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye, everybody.